Since I just got myself another van, I'm in planning mode now. Here's my last van right here. Getting rid of it on March 18th. That's the last day of registration. I just don't want to get rid of it, but I know I have to. Action van suspension. I'm going to measure out the wheel gap here. It is running 245 tires. Right there, 245. They came stock with 235s, so I only went one tire size up. I went 285s at one point, and that destroyed the fuel economy. I went from 14 to 17 miles per gallon to 7 to 10 miles per gallon. It's really bad. If you don't re-gear, don't go up that high in tire size. So let's go ahead and get the wheel gap here. This is an Action Van suspension lift kit, and it has 9 inches of wheel gap with the Action Van suspension lift kit. 9 inches up front. At the back, it's about an 8-inch gap right there, about 8 inches. So let's go ahead and look at my new van, and let's see what the gap is stock height. Here's my new van. Had to roll with the V10. That's the car guy in me. Got to get new V10 emblems. The one on the driver's side is still nice, but this one needs to be replaced. Okay, stock height right here, and this also runs 245s. Since this came 245 stock, I might go 265s eventually. That's only 2 sizes up. That shouldn't wreck my fuel economy. But I might just leave it at 245s because I got 18 mpg freeway on this, which is really good. I was expecting 14, but getting 18, I really don't want to mess with the fuel economy. So here we go. Here's the gap for stock height. Big difference. 5 inches up front versus 9. And in the back, 6-inch wheel gap. Right there. About 6.5. So 6.5. And 5 right there. Big difference between the lifted van and the stock van. My last van had this lift, Action Van suspension, $2,089. It was like $1,900 when I bought it. Looks like the price went up a little bit, but that was 6 years ago. $1,000 for the install. It raised my van about 4 inches overall, maybe a little more since I changed the tire size one up. Maybe it was more of a 4.5-inch lift. What I really want to do is I want to transfer my suspension, my Action Van suspension, to my new van. So I'm going to get a hold of my mobile mechanic and see if he's capable of doing it. If he is, then I want to go that route since I already have the suspension and I don't need to drop that much money again. And if I can't do that, then I'll probably go with Weldtec next. Action Van suspension was about an hour, 20-minute drive away from me, so my friend had to drop me off there. Then we had to drive back. Then the next day I had to drive back there to pick up my van. Weldtec is only about 25 miles away from me, and they have 2 lift kits. They have this one, 4-inch lift kit, $1,650 starting, and for $1,650 they're just going to raise the front 4 inches. If you want to go $24.58, they'll put Fox shocks in the back and new radius arms. I don't need to do that. I just want the clearance for the desert, and that's actually the desert I go to, Ocotillo, since yeah, they're in the area. So that's pretty much the desert everyone goes to around here. What I like about this kit, of course, is the price, $800 for the install. So I'll be at about $2,300, off the top of my head. And then since I'm not lifting the back, this is just the front lift, 4 inches. Since I'm not lifting the back, I'm not going to mess with the drive shaft angle. The front's gonna be a lot higher than the back, so if I do want to lift the back a little bit, I could eventually go with the add-a-leaf kit system, and that'll raise the back up 1.5 inches, so it's not a dramatic increase in the back. The back is always taller than the front in stock vans, so I like this just for the fact that it's a good price, because the 6-inch lift is $25.99, so that's a bit hefty. But 6-inch lift, man, you'll be able to talk to semi-truck drivers riding that. I mean, vans already ride pretty tall stock. Another 6 inches, you're eye to eye with semi-truck drivers almost. What would you guys do if you were me? Like, if the action van suspension isn't being transferred over to my current van, would you guys go with the 4-inch lift and save $1,000, or would you go with the 6-inch lift? You know, go big or go home, right? What would you guys do?